I want to share with you the most beautiful love story that I have ever witnessed. It happened right here in Central Park. It was a beautiful day. The sun was shining, the birds were tweeting, and there was this couple sitting on a bench, an elderly couple. They were probably in their late 70s or early 80s. And they were sitting on a bench just like this one, and they were feeding the pigeons. Now, it's not unusual to see people feeding the pigeons in Central Park. You see it all the time, but what was unusual about this particular couple was the way they were feeding the pigeons. They were taking turns feeding the pigeons. So one would throw a few crumbs on the ground, and then the other one would come and take a handful of crumbs and throw them up in the air, and the pigeons would just swarm all over them. And they were so graceful and so gentle with each other. It was really cute to watch them because obviously they were very much in love. And I couldn't help but smile. I thought, well, that's very sweet. You know, when you get to their age and you've been married for so long, sometimes the spark can die out a little bit. Sometimes when you get to that age you start reminiscing about the good old days, and you sort of reminisce about your youth and your life together, and maybe even think about your partner. Oh, we were so much in love at one point, and now we are not so much in love anymore. And then this guy takes off his jacket. Now, this is New York. It's cold. And I'm thinking, why did he take off his jacket? And then she, without hesitation, takes her jacket off and puts it around his shoulders. And he was crying. He was crying like a baby. Tears of joy. He was so moved by this gesture. And she was trying to hold back tears herself, but she was crying too. And then they started kissing. They started kissing passionately. And I couldn't believe what I was witnessing. I was in shock. I was completely in shock because it was so beautiful. I didn't expect to see something like this. A love story like this in my lifetime, quite honestly. I thought those kinds of things only happen in movies. And here I was witnessing it in real life, and I was mesmerized. I couldn't look away. And when you're young and you're in love, it's a different kind of love, right? When you're young and you're in love, it's all about passion. It's all about, sexual energy and lust and all these different things. And it's a very passionate kind of love. But this was different. This was to people who had lived a full life, who had probably experienced everything life had to offer, who have been through thick and thin together, who have raised a family together, who have built a life together, a beautiful life together. And now they were sitting in Central Park on a cold winter day feeding the pigeons and expressing their love for each other in the most beautiful way possible. And I thought to myself, well, this is it. This is the meaning of true love. It doesn't have to be sexual. It doesn't have to be passionate, although it was passionate in its own way. But it was more than that. It was a deep, deep love. It was a connection. It was a bond. It was a friendship. It was everything that true love is supposed to be. And unfortunately, we don't see that much of it in the world today. So, I was very fortunate to witness this beautiful love story right here in Central Park. If you enjoyed this video, please hit the like button. It really helps me out. And consider subscribing. I would love to have you here within the community. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Take care.